Hey y'all, today we're going to check out kind of a historic cemetery. It's up here on Quicksand Creek in Breathitt County. It's a lot of old graves, some of the oldest ones I know of up here actually. Some Civil War graves, stuff like that. And we're going to walk up here and check it out. This is probably the oldest grave that's here. This guy's name was Fielding Carpenter, and he was supposed to be one of the first settlers in this country, in this part of the country. And I was told by one of his descendants that's still alive that these trees are something to do with the Cherokee, that some of his family married into the Cherokee, and this is called the Cherokee Tree of Life. It has to do with being born, the afterlife, and going on, all that kind of stuff. Circle of the soul, I guess you'd say. But right here, it's a marker the Historical Society over in McGoffin County put up, showing all of his descendants. Had plenty of kids. Back then, I think they all had lots of kids. There wasn't much to do. But up front here, it tells a little bit about the story of him. Born in 1775 and died in 1853. One of the first people to come into Breathitt County, or this area of it anyway. But these are a lot of his children that are buried here, and like I say, a lot of them are married into Indians. And you can see it on a lot of the tombstones that are here. See this one. I can't make out what it says, but again, you got the Tree of Life here. Just kind of makes you wonder exactly what's up with that. I've never seen it anywhere else. Some of these graves aren't even marked, like this one. There's a headstone, footstone, and some of these could have even been slave graves, or just people who were too poor to afford somebody to chip something like that out for them. But it's not a really big cemetery, as you guys can see. Hard to say how old that big hickory tree is right there. Man, I'd hate to guess. I'd say a couple 100 years old or something. But we'll walk around and check some more of these out. Standing at the back of the cemetery now, down that way is the way we came up. There's Fielding's grave over here. So this is probably the last person that was buried here, I would guess. And back here in the back, you see more of these little headstones and footstones. It kind of makes you wonder if these were just poor people, or maybe even slaves of some of these people who were buried down here. There's another one, just black shell rock. It's probably a child's grave, I'd say. But you can see some of these guys that were here did serve in the Confederacy. And we were all taught in school here that Kentucky was neutral during the Civil War, but every one of these that I've seen that's been put up, they're all Confederate, and most of them are cavalry. You hardly ever see infantry. You see this one's Company G, the 13th Kentucky Cavalry, Confederate States of America, John Carpenter, private. Down here we have another one, Andrew Carpenter. I guess that means 3 corporal. Same company, Company G, 13th Kentucky Cavalry. I would say them guys were probably brothers, uncle and nephew, cousin, something like that. But again, just more old tombstones, just everywhere you look. A lot of them unmarked. Tell the age on some of them, they're just starting to disintegrate. You can barely read the writing on them. They chiseled all this by hand. A lot of times they didn't get it right. And here's a little something about, I guess you'd call it Eastern Kentucky grammar. I know right here it says daughter of somebody. Right here you guys see S-A-R-Y. Carpenter. So Surrey Carpenter. Surrey is Sarah. Anywhere else is Sarah. But in Eastern Kentucky, especially back in the day, it was Surrey. Just like if your name was, I don't know, Flora, it'd be Flory. If your name was Laura, it'd be Lori, and so on. But just kind of a grammatical thing, I guess, or something like that. There's another one that's just really wore. Can barely read it. Until a lot of these people were illiterate. And I'd say there weren't but a few in the whole community that could chisel out a tombstone, or at least tell the mason what to chisel out. Maybe it took two people. One to chisel it out, another to tell them what to put on there. But I just think this is a really cool place. A lot of history here. There's a couple more modern cemeteries. There's a really big one over there, another one over here. This one has some from the 1800s, but none are as old as these right here. And I was talking about how old this big hickory tree is. Like, just the video don't give you guys much of a, like, this thing's huge. Like, there's no way I could fit both of my arms around this thing. So this was probably here whenever they first started burying folks here, I would say. And also something that's interesting about this, these people married into Indians, and I have found a lot of flint in this road through here. A lot of chips all the way down to this bank down here about where the driveway is. And I actually brought my leaf blower, and I'm gonna blow some of this off and just kind of look around, but never know, I'll probably at least find some chips. That's it. That's probably the most historically valuable cemetery site I know of in Breathitt County. And it's pretty up here. Just walking back to the truck to get the leaf blower, and already finding flint chips here. Which just makes you wonder, like, if this was an Indian burial site back in the pioneer days, and the pioneers just didn't start burying their dead here too. Because I know of a few places like this, cemeteries and flint both. Interesting. I'm gonna get the leaf blower out. Maybe we'll find something good other than just a bunch of chips. Got all the leaves blowed out of the lane, thanks to this outfit. And walk down through here and see what we can see. Let's see, already finding it. Still finding lots of chips. Lots of chips. And see something right there that's kind of caught my eye. Looks like it's got flaking on it. We're about to see. Definitely got flaking. Oh yeah. It's a point. It's been broke. Definitely point. That's old archaic flaking. Beveled just a little. Guess that was the notch there. That's where it broke. That is, looks like Burlington shirt. This blue and that red. I mean, it could be Bull shirt from a few counties away, but it looks like Burlington to me. Which, if that's Burlington, that's awesome, because this is Eastern Kentucky, and the closest natural Burlington's like Southern Illinois, I think. Eastern Missouri. It's definitely a good piece at one time, though. I'm glad I found that. I'm glad I took the time to blow all that out, man. That was a job. It was worth it right there, though. See if I can find something else. Well, I made it all the way down through here. Nothing but a lot of chips. Chips all over. And the reason I figured this is such a good site for a camp back in Native American times, it's an east-facing point. And I don't know if you guys can hear it, but there's a creek that runs all the way around this down there. It's a big bend down through there. It faces east. When the sun comes up, it's right on it. But that creek's full of flint, and that's all the debridage, all the little chips that we're finding. And this here, I'm pretty sure, is a big old natural flint nodule that has came out of the creek. I'm gonna attempt to dig this thing out here in a minute. We're gonna see. After a little bit of work, I got it out. And like I was thinking, it is exactly what that is. So, all these chips, we're finding all this debridage, it's blue looking. Even though this is brown, once you crack this open, it's blue like this. Oh, it's hard to believe seeing the color difference, but breathed shirt, that is a big nodule too. But that's not here naturally. This came from down there in this creek. Maybe not here specifically, but somewhere along Quicksand Creek, this was quarried out. And they were going to make some stuff out of that, just never got around to it, which is pretty cool. I might take that home with me just for a little keepsake. So we've seen the cemetery, done a little leaf blowing, a little artifact hunting, got a little bit of treasure to take home. I'm satisfied with that. Also, we're a big flint nodule. Put that out on the porch or something. Just a cool big old piece of history. But right there, you can also see the difference between our local church and what this is made of. Completely different stuff. Anyways, hope you guys have enjoyed this video. I've enjoyed making it. Especially enjoyed finding this little thing. But hope you guys tune in for the next one. If you ain't subscribed already, I'd sure appreciate it if you did. And we'll see you on the next video. Take care.